Coming up, a Beachbody coach turns over all his earnings to a foundation that helps destitute children in Africa.
And all the money that's made goes directly to help the kids, 100%, every dollar goes to help the kids.
Plus, it's not enough to just perform in front of an audience. This artist performs over them. Find out how on this edition of Beachbody Network News. Welcome to BNN. Drea Weber, who you may know from the P90X workouts, performs high above massive audiences without a safety net or a wire at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. We'll take you there a little later in the show. But first, Michael Padula has the story of a Beachbody coach who is dedicating his life to helping underprivileged kids in Africa. Michael?
Christy, less than 3 years ago, Scott Fifer volunteered for an organization in Tanzania while on vacation. He is now running that foundation from Los Angeles. We have a right. 4 simple words that mean everything to many children in one of the poorest countries on earth, the African nation of Tanzania. TunaHaki is Swahili for we have a right, and is the name of an organization those same kids gave to a nonprofit group that provides orphans and vulnerable street children with the barest necessities.
It's a name the kids thought up themselves when they first started gathering at David and Mary's house. And, you know, it means that we have a right to go to school, we have a right to shelter, we have a right to a bed, we have a right to 3 meals a day, because, you know, these were kids living on the street.
TunaHaki was founded in 1998 by a local couple in the Moshi, Kilimanjaro region of Tanzania. Dave and his wife noticed the growing problem of children living in the street and did something about it.
David was literally stepping over kids on the way to work some days. And he would be sitting in his office thinking, what am I doing sitting here pushing papers? There are kids outside who really need help. So they both quit their jobs and opened up their home to street kids. Some days they didn't even know how they were going to get food on the table, but they just felt they had a calling to do this.
Scott Fifer runs the foundation from his apartment in Santa Monica, California, to cut down on overhead costs, and he doesn't take a salary. All of the donations go straight to the children.
And they just rely on donations from well-wishers. They have no source of permanent funding, so it's just all hoping that people are going to help take care of them.
Scott has seen the organization explode in its efforts to help over the last 3 years. With the success of TunaHaki's fundraising efforts, they will begin building an eco-friendly facility in Moshi this December.
We came up with some great ecologically sustainable designs. We're using wind power, solar power, biogas, which is the waste systems from the bathrooms and from the animals fueling the cooking stove. And we're using pressed earth bricks.
TunaHaki, take your walk.
A chance meeting with Beachbody trainer and P90X creator Tony Horton led to Scott working out with Tony and established a TunaHaki Beachbody relationship that has been extremely lucrative to the nonprofit organization.
I knew I would need a corporate sponsor, and so Carl was the first person I turned to, and Beachbody, and went in, met with him, and he said yes right away, and that was the start of it all. Beachbody has named us as a beneficiary of the Fit Kids Club, the Shanti's DVD for kids, and so anytime anybody buys that, we get a percentage of the royalties.
Scott loved working out to P90X so much that he became a Beachbody coach. He contributes all of his coaching commission checks to TunaHaki.
I coach people online, but I do it on behalf of TunaHaki. So TunaHaki's the coach, and all the money that's made goes directly to help the kids, 100%, every dollar goes to help the kids.
As the former screenwriter admits, Scott could not have predicted his ascent to the top of TunaHaki when he first got involved with the group in December 2005. But wouldn't change a thing now, and sees helping these kids as his true calling.
Now, if you would like to get involved with the TunaHaki organization like Scott and Beachbody, go to www.tunahaki.org. Laura Robinson has our next story about P90X star and aerialist Drea Weber.
Christy, we're outside of Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, where Beachbody member and P90X diehard Drea Weber is performing with Cher. Now, you might call Drea's involvement in this elaborate stage production unique, as she literally flies through the air with the greatest of ease. It might be the incredible strength needed or the excitement of being elevated high above the crowd, but it's not. Drea Weber says the attraction of being an aerialist, as these performers are called, is the risk involved.
What I do is the kind of aerials where you're not safetied or you're not wearing a harness. So what you do is all on your own strength. You can combine the elements of dance and the strength and risk and daring of being high in the air but making it seem effortless.
Drea has always been an athlete and a gymnast, but by incorporating an aerial routine into the mix has taken her to new heights.
It's so much fun to be in the air. It is a blast. It's completely insane feeling. You know the risk, you're aware of where you are and how high it is, but you're also not really, because the feeling is so great.
To perform these tremendous acts high above takes an incredible amount of strength and agility. The physical demands become even more difficult when you factor in the centrifugal force of aerial spins. But Drea talks the talk and walks the walk. She's a cast member in P90X and uses plyo and kembo to help with her elevated routines.
Whenever you're Andre.
I use P90X to keep myself balanced. I do so much upper body work in my daily work that I like to balance by doing legs and core. The spinning on the Lyra adds centrifugal force. So instead of doing just a plain pull-up, you're doing a pull-up with all the G-forces of a fast spin.
Performing before thousands with Cher, Drea also choreographs for other major entertainers, but she doesn't stop there. We said she was multi-talented, and you can add actress next to her title. Drea played the lead role in the independent award-winning film, The Gymnast.
We incorporated these two things that I love so much, this kind of storytelling and then aerials. It's the story of someone who was an elite gymnast, and it tells a very invigorating story. It's a very positive story about self-discovery.
And Drea's real-life journey of self-discovery will continue high above audiences all over the world for many years to come.
Drea tells us that she has no plans to slow down. Once she's done with the current tour, she'll be choreographing Pink's upcoming concert tour at the beginning of the year. Now, since we're on the topic of Las Vegas, we want to throw out a reminder that there is another Beachbody Opportunity meeting in Las Vegas on October the 18th. This one will be held at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Several Beachbody corporate leaders will be there to answer questions, and Tony Horton will work out with all in attendance. If you have any questions about the Vegas event or any of our other Team Beachbody events, send an email to events@teambeachbody.com. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Coming up on Friday's BNED webcast, we recently caught up with grand prize finalist and $50,000 winner Phyllis Stewart to find out what she's been up to since that magical night last March.
I've got so much confidence now that I can get out there and dance like no one's watching.
And your metabolism. We'll tell you how it affects the body and give tips to help increase your rate. All that and more is coming up on Friday. Now you can go back to your workout. We'll see you next time.